I am holding back, with every fiber of my being, the urge to just get onto this microphone and scream out, Okay, we can't do it. We can't do it. We can't scream out, Vittorio Mancini. Nah, I can't do it. Okay, we said it a little bit. Today, we're talking about Patrik Allvin's most underrated acquisition in the most recent series of trades. What trades, you may be asking? They didn't make any trades. Yeah, that's true. The Vancouver Canucks sat pat at the trade deadline without making any moves, but that does not mean we can't go out there and analyze the JT Miller trade. You know we keep bringing it up over and over again, because now we are asking yet another question as to whether or not New York may be regretting this deal. Not because JT Miller is good, or Filipino is good, or because any of these players are bad or anything like that, but because of one of the extra pieces that was sent along the way. This show is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Go out there, check out that first link in the description to save some money in your VPN, get some free months, and support this YouTube channel in the process. Let's go out there and revisit the Miller trade. Because not only did the Vancouver Canucks send away a whole bunch of stuff, they sent away JT Miller, and Erik Brannstrom, and Jackson Dorrington, but they also got a bunch of stuff too. Filipino was included in the deal, conditional first, which was then flipped over to the Penguins, and they also got Victor Mancini, or, as we could also call him, Vittorio Mancini. Yeah, his real name is Vittorio, not Victor. I don't know why he doesn't go by Vittorio. It's just so much cooler than Victor. But anyways, all Italian heritage names aside, Victor Mancini was a quote-unquote extra asset in the Miller trade. Until you realize that he actually is a lot better than an extra asset in a big blockbuster trade would indicate. Victor Mancini is 22, 6'3", 229, right-handed D-man, big dude drafted by the Rangers in the 5th round of the 2022 NHL Draft, and in the Rangers system, he had 5 points in 15 games. That's a lot of points, actually, for a guy who is just barely on the team. Now, with Vancouver, he has played 5 games and he's got 1 point. He had a really nice assist in the Calgary game, throwing it towards the goal before it got tipped on by Höglander, and the rebound popped out to Elias Pettersson to tie the game up 3-3 in the third. But other than the points, Victor Mancini is putting together a profile that really makes things difficult for the Rangers to let go. Are they going to regret this? Let's take a look at some tweets, shall we? This was tweeted out by Logan Canuck Skate after the game against the Calgary Flames when the Canucks ended up winning in a comeback capacity in the shootout. Victor Mancini last night was 4th on the team in even-strength ice time, 2nd in expected goals. He was tied for 1st in shot blocks, he had an assist, and he was a +1. The Canucks found another one. And that kind of goes to show you, hey, this is not just an extra throw-in guy into some sort of a trade here, right? This is a player who really is providing stable, quantifiable value. And not only was he great in the Vancouver side of things on that game against Calgary, but Hockey Stat Cards tweeted this out, the top skaters for March 12th games. Now, to be completely fair to the rest of the NHL and Vittorio Mancini himself, there were only 4 games played on March the 12th, so it's not like Mancini and the Canucks had a whole bunch of competition, but he was one of the top skaters in the entire league that day. Brandon Montour, Patrick Kane, and Alex DeBrincat each were all over there. Mancini and Pettersson were the top 5 rounded out. So I get it, there are only 8 teams playing on March the 12th, but to see Mancini put up numbers that literally puts him in the top 5 of all hockey players on the ice that day, that's pretty good. And you can see from the graph here, he is trending upwards in terms of the rest of his performance so far. So even though it's been a really small sample, Vittorio Mancini is showing off so many good qualities. He's playing a lot, and he's looking solid. It's not like he's a minutes eater, transitory, neutral defenseman who's just going out there killing the clock and not contributing anything. It's not like a Tyler Myers where he's making mistakes defensively and he's not using his size. Victor Mancini's solid. He's a big guy who knows how to play big, and he makes the right decisions, and he's oddly dynamic in a way that you wouldn't expect out of a big guy, and he can play that simple game that Rick Tocchet likes to a T. There are so many things that Victor Mancini does that just instill confidence in him as an NHL-capable defender. Him and Elias Pettersson really stepping up and filling in big shoes all of a sudden makes some of these other guys on the team's jobs more expendable. Cough, cough, Carson Soucy. Cough, cough, maybe a Tyler Myers? Who really knows? Okay, maybe that's a bad example. They already traded away Mark Friedman, so yeah, that's a better example. Soucy, gone. Friedman, gone. Bronstrom, Desharnais. Big replacements here, and big upgrades from Elias Pettersson and Victor Mancini. Not to mention, of course, Marcus Pettersson, who was brought on here as a solid top 4 add too. You're now starting to understand why the Vancouver Canucks really did hold their tongue on the JT Miller trade. For months, it was reported they wanted Braden Schneider from the New York Rangers, but the Rangers said, no, we're not going to give you Schneider. He's not available. He's not up for grabs. He's our guy. And Vancouver just did not bite the bullet and say, okay, we'll take Ryan Lindgren, who, by the way, scored his first goal as a member of the Colorado Avalanche the other night. Congrats to him. But Vancouver deciding not to take Ryan Lindgren, not settling for him in a trade, yeah, okay, fantastic. Instead, they got Hedl, the center they wanted, and Mancini, who was a prospect that had so much extra value that we are now exhibiting here, because Mancini's playing like 15-minute games. He's getting 18 minutes against Calgary in important games too. If he's playing the right way, he'll be rewarded even though he's only 22 years old. I mean, he's turning 23 in a few months here, but still, he's young. He's one of the youngest guys on the team, really. And he's already producing some pretty significant assets here. So I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What are your opinions about Victor Mancini and his overall level of play being so high in the way that it is? Are the New York Rangers going to regret trading this guy away? Should they have been a little bit more iron claw on this player in the same way they were on Braden Schneider? Should they have just forced Ryan Lindgren to the Vancouver Canucks? They made some trades, now they're in the playoff push, and they're seemingly doing well with JT Miller, because he's been producing a lot of points over there, but to see a defenseman leave the organization and have such a strong impact on a team that's as good defensively as Vancouver is, you gotta have to wonder, where does Mancini go long term? How long is he going to be able to keep this up, and when is it that his point production is finally going to translate to the National Hockey League level? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Did the Vancouver Canucks find another gem, another diamond in the rough here with Victor Mancini from the New York Rangers? We didn't have a PNG file of him earlier. We had to make one now this time because it's a pretty good story. The Canucks do play off against the Chicago Blackhawks later today. We're going to make another video just going over some of the notes and extra conversation points, because everybody's talking about Rick Tocchet and the goaltending and all that stuff heading into today's matchup. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll talk about it before the game goes on. But for now, thoughts in the comments about Mancini. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.